Hi everyone, and thanks for being with me. I'm going to make a statement today which I'm sure is going to piss off quite a few people, but honestly, I don't care. The reality is, my belief is, and the belief of many other people who simply haven't got the guts to be able to say this, but I believe that Trump is evil. It's as simple as that. And I can't say that about many people. I usually look on the bright side of personalities and traits and qualities that people have. But at the end of the day, when I look at Trump and hear and see what he's done, I believe that he is just blatantly evil and that there's something that we all must acknowledge and we must confront the evilness in the only way that you confront evil, and that is by diligently fighting back, finding avenues to be able to fight back against all the craziness, all the stupidity, all the ignorance, all the sort of bizarre behaviours that we see from Donald Trump and this administration. Now, that evilness is quite simply interpreted by some of the things that he's done and the things that he says. Going back to the interview with Zelensky in the White House is an indication of how blatantly disgusting and how poorly he behaves, that is Trump and JD Vance, in addressing the issues with regard to Ukraine. I find that his attitudes towards immigration, deporting people that should never have been deported, sending them to places like El Salvador, and not understanding at all the due process that is required in relation to all of these people, whether they were members of gangs or not. The simple fact that he has no understanding, no empathy, no sense as to what it means to other people to suffer under his policies. And there are people now being taken off the streets who are simply being thrown into the back of trucks, taken to places where they're going to be deported from. There's a story recently about a Russian woman who landed back in the United States. She's a researcher at a university, and she was taken in and is being threatened to be sent back to Russia. A person who was escaping Russia because she disagreed vehemently with Vladimir Putin in relation to Ukraine. So there are hundreds of these stories. And you're the person, you who voted for him, you are the one that is responsible for what is happening in the United States. And then, of course, there is tariffs. The fact that this man has this concocted idea around tariffs that has been inhabiting his personality, his sense of self since 1985. A man who has no understanding about economics, no understanding about how things work geopolitically. A man who has no concept, no intelligence, who's completely void of any degree of not only empathy, but understanding about the world in general. This is the man that you have put in charge of one of the most powerful nations, if not the most powerful nation on this planet. You the voter, you that person who's going to respond to this, offer a comment to me at some particular point, and is going to criticise what I'm saying as being some sort of Trump derangement syndrome. Well, I'm telling you that the derangement in Trump derangement syndrome comes from you people that support him. You crazy, ridiculously insane people who believe that for whatever reason, Trump is going to provide a better way for you. Now, I understand very much so that we can be disillusioned with government. I'm critical of government. I'm critical of politicians. I understand why they have the lowest trust rating on this planet. I get it. I understand it. I believe in it too, that they can't be trusted to do the things that we need them to do because they simply haven't got the guts to do it. Just like the Republicans haven't got the guts to stand up against Trump. Politicians haven't got the guts to do what's appropriate for the people that they're supposed to represent, because some of those things they need to do are progressive and certainly are destined to find their way to the rubbish heap, because people will not decide to do those radical things that they should be doing. I understand all of that. But in terms of Trump, there is no quality that this man has that one can view as being positive and as redeeming. None whatsoever. The man's a joke. the man is the closest thing to evil that I can imagine. Imagine what would happen if Trump had all the power that he desires. Imagine if you're a coloured person in the United States, what that will mean to you. Imagine if you're an educated person in the United States, what would that mean to you? Would it take us back to the Pol Pot period in Cambodia, where they just eliminate all intelligentsia? What is actually happening here in the United States is devastating, and it's driven by just one man who has hoodwinked you to think that he's going to offer you some sort of holy grail, a golden opportunity for the United States, an opportunity which will never come about because his only interest is in himself. And it is this point that makes him so evil. And so many of you can't see it. So many of you are hoodwinked by this man. And I can't help but think of Bill Mayer's effort to have dinner with him to see who this man actually is, and that he was able to con Bill Mayer, for Christ's sake. It is a disgrace that people like Bill can't see it, that people who are decent people, and there are many of them out there. There's many of you people that voted for him, I'm sure are decent, respectful, honest, people full of integrity, people wanting the best for their country. I get all of that. But that you put your faith in a con man, an evil man, in order for you to get what you believe it should be your right, which is a better government, reducing costs, making sure the standard of living is something that is workable, something that you can live within, something that isn't stressing you to the nth degree. So I understand all of that. But to put your faith into a man who is going to destroy your country, that is only interested in himself, I find abhorrent. And the thing that amazes me the most is that you've allowed this to happen. You've allowed this man to enter into your lives, to destroy them. We've got to a point where the rest of the world is starting to see Trump for who he is. And regrettably, they're starting to see you, the United States, the citizens of the United States, for who you are, because you're the ones that allowed this to happen. You can't be trusted anymore. You just can't be. It's like having a good relationship with somebody and then finding that they betray you. At the end of the day, you have to discover whether that relationship's toxic or not. And if it's toxic, you dispense with it. It's that simple. And the rest of the world is saying, bugger you, we're going to go off and do our own thing. Because basically we don't need you anymore. And as I've said many times before, the American exceptionalism has been a con in itself, a myth that all of you have bought into. All of you. And that means whether you're Democrat or Republican or independent, that you've all bought into this myth about who you are. And Donald Trump has certainly destroyed that myth, made it more evident to most of us that it is only a myth. But he's doing it in a way which is going to impact so many of you. If you're wealthy, if you're an oligarch, no, you will be fine. You've got the money, you will survive. But if you're working class, unemployed, on benefits, on Medicare, Medicaid, you are going to suffer because this man does not care about you. And it is this fact, and this fact alone, that makes him, in my view, evil. Now, I've had my rant. This is your chance to have yours. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'd be most interested to hear from you, and I'm sure many of you will object. I don't give a shit. I'm telling it the way that I see it. And this is the great thing about the internet and YouTube, is that I can say these things. Many people would disagree, and this is your right, and I accept that. But at the end of the day, I've said my bit. This is what I believe. And hopefully there will be people that will believe what I'm saying as well. And if so, then we must rise up against it. We must find a way to fight back, to air these views, to challenge people's views about who they believe Donald Trump to be. Because at the end of the day, I think he's extremely evil and damaging to the United States and potentially the rest of the world. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. In the meantime, take care, look after yourselves, and more importantly, be safe.